there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Once again, it is Sovereign Saturday. Being a sovereign man isn't easy. Now, you know, for over a year, I've been talking about sovereignty. And sovereignty, let me be clear. I ain't talking about like you got some documents and stuff and you think the police won't stop you. Because you got some sovereign citizens who, you know, they're on that. Being sovereign, in my view, and the way I'm looking at it, the way I'm presenting it, is just having some control over your life. You know, you being sovereign, just having a driver's license. You being sovereign, owning your own business. Having some leverage when you don't have outright control, maybe in your job. You know, having some control over your life or having the options to have a job. And sovereignty even includes dealing with women. You know, because let's be real, women, they go for a powerful man, a man who got some control. You know, you know, men talk about they want a woman to submit. Well, submit to what? Why would they submit to a man who don't have control over his own life? Because submission means responsibility. But if a man don't have control over his life, why should a woman even want him for that? Now, if he turns them on sexually, yeah, they might get him for a concubine, but they're not going to follow that man. So this is in all areas of life. But I'm going to tell you what, it's not really easy. You know, the concept sounds good on paper. Let's be real about that. The concept sounds great on paper. But actually being a sovereign man in this society, when you got several forces who are quite frankly trying to control you, they trying to tell you what to do in everything. They trying to influence you. Shoot, I even see it even like in some small ways. I see it just in just being a content creator. I lost track of how many times somebody tried to tell me how to do what I'm doing better, even though they're not doing it themselves. Used to be, I would say, well, I don't see any videos on your page. Why don't you show me what you're talking about? Never heard from them again. Now I just be like block, delete, block, you know. Because, and that's one of the reasons why I don't take requests. Because it's usually from someone who's never posted before, trying to get me to go in their direction. As a sovereign man, I go in the direction I want. Now, if people want to support that, that's their sovereign right to support it or not. So, but you know, you start from the small. It could be your family members. They want you to do something. You got an idea. Hey, I want to do this for my living. This is my mission. They want you to do something else. It could be your friends. Everything, you trying to do something different, they want you to follow them. And then there are the days. And that's a term I use a lot on my Deep Thought channel. The days, they could be metaphysical, people in power, everything. The days are those who are trying to really control your life. They're trying to steer like whole groups of people. See, if you're being a sovereign man, first of all, you're going against the grain. You're going against the grain. You're creating your own world. Now, let me be clear, because some people have said, well, isn't that a sigma? Well, I don't get into that alpha, beta, sigma thing. And one thing when somebody tries to say, well, it really is, block, delete. No. What it is, because first of all, I don't go into that, because in my view, every single man is the alpha of his world. Let me quickly explain that. If you decide as part of your sovereignty, you want a legacy, you want a family, you automatically the alpha. You automatically the alpha of that world. Now, just because, but yeah, and at the same time, you can also be doing something different from society. So it depends. That's why I don't like using those terms. I don't like using those terms because you're not following another man. But as a sovereign man, you might be still leading others. Because people still want to follow your lead. No matter what you fight against, they're going to see what you do and may be inspired. Or if you have a family, you're the dominant one in that family. You're leading. But whatever the case, it's not easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. See, from the moment we're born, you have different forces that want you to follow their plan. their religion, their political philosophy, their way of life. Starting with your parents. They want you to follow a certain thing. Now, they're not being evil. This is just what they know. But then you go to schools, they'll say, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. There's somebody always telling you, you got to do this, this, and this. It takes a lot to fight against that. And then when you out here, people want you to do something. Like, I remember when I wanted to write, had so many people who didn't know my skill, didn't try to see, did I have any talent, say, oh, you can't make money writing, or you shouldn't do this. Or people will tell you, how many of y'all have heard, you working on something, you working on a path, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. And a lot of times it ain't somebody, it could be a loved one, sometimes it's a total stranger. Either way, it's like, no, this is your path. See, following in your own steps, following your own path is tough out here because you have so many people who are trying to tell you not to do that. So it ain't easy. It ain't easy. You probably have to leave some friends behind. And since I talk about man gets woman on here, and I talked about it this week, sometimes that woman who might be fine, you might have to leave her behind because she might not like your sovereignty. Many men have dealt with a woman, they might have had a plan to do something on their own, create a business, create a project or something, and the woman's like, well, why don't you get a regular job? Many married men have had that. They've had a plan to go in a certain direction, and their wives have said, oh no, you got to do this, this, and this. Indeed, even getting married or getting in a relationship, the woman has her agenda, but you have yours. So shoot, that could even affect how you dealing with women. A lot of women might not want to deal with you because you're sticking on your agenda. Yeah, you might have options, but you're also going to have those women who are going to be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. You're this, they're going for the status instead of you. Then of course they come back around. It's funny, they come back around and they'll be like, when you successful, they're like, oh, I always thought you were cute. I knew you'd be successful. Or the infamous text, hey big head, what you doing? You know when they say that, they trying to holler, see what's up with you and everything. So it ain't easy, but you know what? It's worth it though. It's worth it. The work you have to do, the friends you're going to have to leave behind, the women you have to leave behind, maybe even family you got to leave behind. It's worth it because there's no greater feeling as a man than having control over your life, to being sovereign and having the stuff, having a situation where if you don't have outright control over how you're making your money, you at least have leverage, where you're dealing with women on your own accord. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with situations according to your will, not the will of the theys, whoever the theys would be, small scale or large scale, but according to your will. And that's very important. That's very important. But it's not easy. It is not easy, but it's worth it. So you're going to have to keep going. You're going to have to keep doing your thing. All right? So anyway, keep rising to become the sovereign man that you are meant to be. No, it's not an easy path, but it's a path that is well worth it. All right? Keep rising, everyone. Peace and blessings.